Madden 26 is coming out soon. I say soon. We're, August. That's not too long from now. I know everyone, we are all expecting college football 26 news coming out very soon. Probably should potentially get some sort of reveal trailer sometime, maybe this week. I would say. I don't think they're gonna do it. Memorial Day, the week that Memorial Day falls on. I could be wrong on that, but I think you do it sometime next week here. But Madden 26. What are the expectations? What do I expect for Madden 26? I'm gonna talk about that a little bit here in today's video, and I guess the first thing I would say I expect is I expect Superstar Mode to probably get another refinement this year. I think in that reveal trailer that we saw during the draft for Madden 26 and College Football 26, I keep wanting to say 25 for some reason, for College Football 26, you saw that a lot of the big focus was basically career, right? From high school to college to the pros, right? And it seems like I think we're going to see Superstar Mode become more in line of with how Road to Glory is set up. And I actually do think that Road to Glory is set up a little bit better than Superstar Mode, which just feels Superstar Mode feels like it's just a really weird mode. It feels like it takes forever to get through menus and things like that. So I think you're going to see a revamped Superstar Mode again. I do think Superstar Mode will probably get a lot of attention for Madden 26. I do wonder about Superstar Madden 26 in terms of, Madden 25 was such a nothing game, right? And which is, I know some people say that's not surprising, but I was a little surprised at how much of a nothing game it felt like Madden 25 was. It's not saying Madden 24 was a something game, because that was kind of more in line with, 23. I know these yearly releases, they end up kind of feeling like that, but it's just very interesting how, Madden 25 just felt like a nothing game, especially knowing that College Football 25 was coming out that same year, and everyone was going to be blown away by that game. And it did. College Football 25 played a whole hell of a lot better than Madden 25, so that's one of the things I do think will be different for Madden 26, where I think Madden 26 will play a lot like college football did. I think everyone knows, in terms of animations, yes, there were reused assets in terms of that sort of stuff, right? But I think one of the things that you are going to see with Madden 26 is I think a lot of the, a lot of the engine stuff for College Football 26 was built new, right? Lighting, things like rendering techniques, I think probably like the base of animations, how they trigger, things like that. I think that was a lot different compared to Madden. So I do think Madden will probably use the newer engine that the college football team made. So maybe that's why you didn't see a lot of big changes for Madden 25. Maybe that's me coping and trying to expect Madden to be good, or at least, as good as Madden can be, right? I don't think Madden will ever be the game that all of us want. But I don't think there's any reason for it to just be what it was last year, where it was just basically unplayable. It was just not a fun game to play. I think that's why all of your favorite, content creators on here just played college football last year and really didn't touch Madden, because no one had a desire to touch Madden, just because it didn't play very fun. It wasn't a fun game to play. And from speaking to people, my comment section and things like that, competitive players didn't really like the way Madden 25 played either. So they really just made a game that was slow and sluggish for no real reasons other than that's what the Madden team thought people would want after playing college football. I really don't understand that. One of the biggest complaints I would say that Madden has faced since jumping to this new gen of consoles has been the fact that the gameplay is kind of sluggish, right? In 24, things kind of sped back up a little bit, but, then they just immediately slow things down to a halt. I don't really get that. People have made it very clear we don't want these games to play slow and sluggish. That's not realistic. Let me just be frank on that. I know you hear that a lot from people on how, that's actually realism. That's not really the case. That's not, I don't think, that's realistic to have a game that just plays, I would say, just really slow. And that's kind of what Madden 25 was. So one of my expectations for gameplay of Madden 26 is I think it will play more like college football, just because I think it'll be within that college football engine that was built out over the past couple years from the CFB team. So I think Madden will take a lot of advantages of that engine that is built exclusively for the newer, I don't want to say the current gen consoles, right, which is PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. So one of the things that I talked about a month or so ago before that reveal trailer came out is I felt like it seemed like a pretty good expectation that Madden 26 would be leaving last gen consoles when they did the reveal. That is what we got. We got the news that Madden 26 will be exclusively for newer gen, current gen consoles, last gen guys on old gen. Sorry, Madden, you will not be getting Madden 26. So maybe that'll be, some, I don't know what that'll actually do personally. There was 2 different games already, for current and last gen. So I don't really think that it'll be a big thing. Maybe that gets some manpower off of, those legacy versions of the game, which were on last gen consoles. So maybe there'll be a little bit more, they don't have to dedicate time to patching an old gen version of the game. We'll just have one game that they're working on. All of the manpower that, that EA has for the Madden team will be dedicated to this one game. They won't be worried about, working on a game for consoles that were released, back when Barack Obama was president. Let me just state that when the PS4 came out, Barack Obama was president. There have now been, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Donald Trump again. That's 4 presidents of those consoles. Like, you guys just can't expect these games to keep coming out in those forever. Again, I've said it before. I know that's tough on people. Things are tough on everyone right now. I totally get that. You can't. It's hard to go out and justify buying a new $400 or $500 console. I totally understand that, but it is what it is, I guess. I hate to say that, but it is what it is. So, do I think Madden 26, Madden no longer being on last-gen consoles, do I think that's going to make a big difference in the game? Personally, no. I'm sure it was a really small skeleton crew that was kind of updating those last-gen games. But if there's any more manpower that can go towards the current Madden system of games, I think that's great. And last is franchise mode. What do I expect from franchise mode? If my own personal theory is that Madden 25 was bare bones in terms of new features because they knew that they were going to have to, there's a lot of work being done from 26 in terms of jumping everything to the base game engine that college football made, then there's a very good chance we might get a pretty revamped franchise mode. Right? I wouldn't be shocked if the engine model or whatever you want, the gameplay systems, whatever for Dynasty mode, I'm almost positive that you could probably take the guts of that code, which is, and turn it into a franchise mode for Madden, right? So I'm almost positive that we're going to see a situation where maybe we do get a revamped franchise mode, right? Maybe it's stripped down, maybe it's pared down a little bit. Granted, I don't think there's much paring down you can do anyways. It's already still a pretty basic mode, but I think there's a very good chance we see a new sim engine for Madden 26, something that's not reliant on the playbooks, which is what the Madden sim engine is reliant on. It's reliant on playbooks, not actually reliant on your roster. You can have a 99 overall roster, but if you don't have the right playbooks, your team will not be good. Doesn't matter, who you bring into your team, how much better you make them, you'll not be good because you don't have the right playbook. One of the stupidest things, but, it is what it is, right? So maybe there's a lot of legacy issues that we could see finally gone from some of these modes, like franchise, I think. Because now it'll be an actual situation where they have a fresh start, where they can truly rewrite code, write new code that's not, interfering or being interfered with code that came from, probably the PS3 generation of things, right? That's what the current Madden code is built off of right now, is PS3 stuff, right? So the college football team, I think maybe they built out this entire new engine that for football games that the EA team, that the Madden team can also use and kind of purpose it for a franchise mode. So I think that's a real possibility. So that means I think we could see Coach Carousel finally being in the game. I think better staff management, better coach archetypes, things like that. I think we could finally see in the game, along with things like the sim engine not being reliant on the playbooks. So that's kind of my expectations, unless this is if my own personal theory holds true. I don't know if it'll hold true. I could be wrong on that, but that's my own personal theory. So my expectations for Madden 26, I think it'll be better than Madden 25. No guarantees on that. We could be sitting here in a few months thinking, how did they screw it up this bad 2 years in a row, right? It wouldn't shock me if Madden 26 just kind of continues in the direction of 25, where it's like, this is unplayable. Right, where it's really just, this is an unplayable game. What are they doing over there? That's a complete possibility. It's honestly, it's very likely we end up saying that. Just that's how little faith I have in the Madden team. But again, my expectations is I think we're going to see a better game. I think graphically it's going to look similar to college, 25, 26. I think the lighting and things like that was a lot better. If you played both games, I know YouTube compression really kills things, but if you played both games and you kind of looked at, a lot of things were better. Textures were better in college football 25 compared to Madden 25. The lighting was better. Just, everything was better, right? Texture effects, just everything looked better. Night games looked better. Day games looked better. Noon games looked better. Just everything looked better. Helmets looked better. Everything looked better. Played better. And I think there's a very good chance that Madden 26 kind of, is a little bit like that, where it's more in line with where college football 25 was. So that's my expectations for Madden 26. We're probably about a month away from getting a full reveal of Madden. We'll probably get that in June. For Madden, we'll probably get an actual reveal trailer in June, and then we'll get Madden news probably sometime in July, if I had to take a guess. So if anyone's wondering when are we going to get Madden 26 news, probably reveal mid to late June, news deep dives in July. So hit subscribe, come back for that, and keep up with the channel, because I'll be talking about that stuff as it happens. So I want you guys for watching this one. Also, be sure to check out my other 2 channels. I'll probably have it in this video here down below. Channel number 2 is NBA 2K. If you're interested in NBA 2K stuff, check out that channel. And my 3rd channel is kind of a new one I'm starting. I'm going to try to, still in the early stages, but I do have one video up. We are going to be talking a little bit actual sports news on that channel. I kind of want to talk about sports stuff, but you guys don't really expect that here, and the way YouTube works is if I upload something like that and you guys don't really expect that from this channel, it's not really going to show it to you. That's the way YouTube works. They don't like doing that, and it confuses the algorithm. And you've probably heard this spiel from other YouTubers before. Now you're hearing from me. So go check out my other 2 channels, and I'll see you guys in the next one for hopefully next week sometime for college football 26, that first actual reveal, and the subsequent deep dives that we'll probably be getting all throughout June. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.